How you doing? To those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Yasha. I also go by Tato the Penguin. And I like to do these videos where I talk about my daily life. I get as authentic and as raw as I can get on here. I do these videos every night. They're unscripted. And sometimes it's a positive video where I'm happy. Sometimes it's a video where I'm sad and I'm crying and I'm embarrassing myself. And other times I have messages for you. Other times I'm just in here laughing at fart jokes and having a grand old time. So, to those of you who are new subscribers, because I saw there are a few of you, welcome. Welcome to the space. Welcome to the collective. One day we will have jackets. I'm very excited about that idea, by the way. One day we will have jackets. Oop, I decided to switch these. For those of you who are not new here and you've been with me for a minute, what is up, nerds? How you doing? How you feeling? How's life treating you? How was your day? Was it good? 1 minute and 11 seconds, as I'm asking. Was it good? I think for some of you, it was a good day. For others of you, the day wore on you. You're a little tired. You're a little exhausted. That makes all the sense in the world, actually. It makes all the sense in the world because there have been some things happening in the spiritual realm. I can always tell when spiritual things are happening and going off and doing a lot, primarily because a lot of people will start reporting that they're feeling the same way, though they're not sick. So, I've heard a lot of people reporting that they are tired, that they have been tired. A lot of people with some sore throats and no other symptoms. And I think it's because the truth about a lot of people and a lot of things is coming out, y'all. The truth is coming out, and it's setting some of us free and others of us. The truth is absolutely tearing up that ass. 2 minutes and 22 seconds as I say that. Before we get started on my thoughts about this is my little rose quartz tree, and I've been showing this instead of my crystal mobile that I used to show. And I'll probably get back to showing it at some point. But right now, I'm showing you guys my rose quartz tree that I got. I actually find it really funny because this was a gift for my birthday month. By the way, what day is it? Happy February 16th, I believe. Look at that. The month is just flying by. Though I feel like I've been working in the month of February for 6 months. 3 minutes and 3 seconds as I say that. I love the number 303 for those of you who are new here, because 303 to me represents love. It is romantic love, it is universal love, it is love incarnate. Because in the Matrix, the apartment that Neo actually goes in at the very end of the movie where he's trying to get to Trinity, the apartment number is 303 and it represents love. So that's one of the reasons why I love the number so much. But yes, my friend Ro got this for me for my birthday, and it's interesting because I looked in the little pamphlet that she gave me that explained the trees that are like this, and there are a bunch of different ones that you can get with various crystals. So you can get amethyst, lapis, peridot, any of the birthstones. You can get them on a tree like this. And it would have made sense for her to get me a tree that had amethyst, because that is my birthstone, because that's the birthstone for the month of February. But I found it interesting that and you could have a tree that had different ones on it. But I find it interesting that she got me the tree that has rose quartz, and rose quartz is connected to the heart chakra, and it is also a crystal that helps people when it comes to loving others, and it also helps with romantic love. You knew this question was coming. Have you had water today? If you have, I'm so proud of you. Good job, even if you just had a couple sips. If you haven't had water today, why don't you get up and get some? Unless you're driving, don't get up. Keep driving. Keep your eyes on the road. If you're listening to this, you're just playing it in the car as you're driving. You know, whenever you get to your destination, 4 minutes and 44 seconds, whenever you get settled, get some water. But for those of you who are chilling out as you watch this, go get some water and let's drink some water together. I know some people just really hate water. And again, there are things that you can do in order to flavor up your water. Hot tea is great because that puts a flavor in there. I used to put lemon in my water, 5 minutes and 5 seconds as I say that, so I don't know if that'll help somebody. I also used to put cranberry juice. I would do 1 part water, 1 part cranberry juice, and then I used to do 1 part sparkling water. So I would get my water in, but it would taste like, you know, a carbonated cranberry juice. Oh, water's so good, bro. And it's good for you. So, spiritual things. I've said this in another video that I'm thinking of making a separate playlist because right now this playlist is soulful yapping. So there are other videos where I am dressed like this and I'm essentially talking about my day, and there's a mixture of other content in there. But I might start doing videos that are specifically spiritual when I am speaking mainly about spiritual stuff. I just don't know how I want to do that yet, so be patient with me. For those of you who have subscribed and you're specifically wanting to know the spiritual stuff, stay with me. I will create a new playlist at some point here on YouTube where that content will be the only content that is in that playlist, so that if you're here for spiritual stuff and you're looking for, you know, ideas, guidance, you know, I talk about oracle readings and tarot card readings that I do for myself and things of that nature. I will most likely set that up here soon. So we will see how that goes. But my love, the shit is hitting the fan when it comes to the spiritual realm. Ooh, 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 ooh. 2024, well, 2020 was the beginning of certain things coming to light. 7 minutes and 7 seconds as I say that. And we started to see a lot of people who were in positions of power, who were in high places. A lot of them were being exposed for a lot of the fuck shit that they were doing, if you will. Last year, 2024, we saw a lot of it. And in 2025, we're seeing a lot of it. But what we're also seeing a lot of are people who are breaking into their authenticity. They're starting their own content for the first time ever. People who are in their 50s and 60s who are doing things, who are gaming, who are doing all kinds of stuff. So this is the time. It is a revolution, as Kendrick Lamar said so eloquently in the, or rapped so eloquently at the Super Bowl this year. I found it really interesting that a lot of people didn't understand what was happening. You know, I've seen responses that people had to the Super Bowl. And something that I find interesting is that some people tend to be confused and they just stay confused. 8 minutes and 8 seconds as I say that. When they don't have to be. You have access to the internet. You have access to social media. You can look up the lyrics to his songs. You can look up the things that he has been involved in, the things that he stands for. Kendrick has never been quiet or shy about his activism when it comes to a lot of different shit. Kendrick is very vocal. So the fact that there were people that were like, the halftime show wasn't that great, and it's like, yeah, this year's halftime show wasn't about entertainment. We've had many a Super Bowl where it's just been empty entertainment, where it's been, you know, sparkly outfits and, you know, grand statues and really big imagery and just, it's been entertaining so that you all can be appeased. And this Super Bowl, that I don't think was the purpose. I believe the purpose of this year's Super Bowl performance was to let those who are in power, who are now quaking in their boots because the truth is coming out and they cannot stop it, that a lot of people have had enough. We've had enough. There are a lot of people who are incredibly talented and who belong to marginalized groups who have been hiding under a bushel, and they're not doing that anymore. I've seen far more diverse people taking positions or running for positions in office. I'm seeing a lot of growth, and it's positive. I'm telling you, I really do believe that the pendulum had swung in a really shitty direction for a while there, and I believe the pendulum is slowly swinging back. Maybe not so slowly. I think it's swinging back in the other direction. It's just crazy to be on social media and to see how People do not tolerate bad behavior like they used to. People are ready to get at you at a moment's notice. And I've always said this, that even though I don't have time to 10 minutes and 10 seconds, as I say this, even though I don't have time necessarily to sit there and entertain bad behavior or negative people, there are people who do. There are people on social media, there are people who have platforms, there are people who are on social media and don't have platforms. And all they do, they are keyboard warriors, but they're not trolls. They are specifically there to go and expose people who hide behind anonymous accounts to comment bullshit on people's content. And I think that's just great. I think that's great. I love that. I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. But I did find that interesting. I found it interesting that we now have more access to knowledge and information than we've ever had before. The internet is at a crazy place, and artificial intelligence is quickly growing and it's quickly evolving. And there's not really anything we can do to stop it at this point. And some people are afraid of that. They're like, well, what does this mean? Some people, like myself, are actually very hopeful. I see a bright future where AI is a tool and potential friend that we could use in the future and work alongside. 11 minutes and 23 seconds as I say that. 23 is my lucky number. So I am I tend to be very optimistic about life. I didn't used to be. I used to be a very pessimistic person. Didn't want to be here anymore. Had depressive episodes, anxiety, panic attacks, all that stuff. I did not want to be here. I had a drinking problem. Like it was a lot going down. I was very miserable. And then at a certain point in my life, when I realized that things were bad, I felt alone. I didn't have any solid relationships that I could speak of. I wasn't good with any of my family members. And I was just at the darkest place I had ever been. When I decided, no, I want to be here. I want to do things. I want to help. I want to support other people. I want to do some good in this world. When that happened, bro, 12 minutes and 12 seconds as I say that, it was a complete game changer for me. And I suddenly became this really optimistic person. I can see good in so many different situations. And some situations, the good is that they are hard. The good is that those situations happen because it caused certain things to happen. Sometimes people who have an us versus them mentality and they've always stood on one side of the fence, sometimes there needs to be some kind of giant, messy, fucked up situation that causes everybody to have to come together because we don't really have a choice at that point. And there's been quite a few of those recently that have happened. So, I am an incredibly optimistic person. It's interesting being that way after not being optimistic for so long. I was always a gloom and doom person. It's probably why I didn't do anything that I wanted to do. I never tried to achieve the dreams that I had because I assumed I'd never reach them because they were just too big. They were too big, they were too lofty, and then I would just have the self-deprecating comments. But this is why I'm always telling y'all. I want you to love on yourself. I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to say loving affirmations to yourself. Call yourself sexy. Call yourself beautiful. Compliment your eyes. Compliment your nose. Compliment your lips. I want you to literally, when you are about to get in the shower, when you are about to strip down and get nudie patootie and you're getting in the shower, I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to pose. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what walk of life you're on right now, my love. I want you to learn to love yourself and I want you to do it aggressively until that self-doubt, the self-deprecating humor, until those things are until they really are jokes because you don't feel that way. That's what I want for you. I want so many good things for y'all. I want it all for you. Is this who I am? But yeah, so when it comes to the spiritual realm, there are, at least from my knowledge, I don't follow a lot of the spiritual information as far as what gates are open spiritually. So I know the Lion's Gate is one that tends to open and close and stuff like that, but I don't really follow that stuff too tough. But what I do know is there has been movement and motion. A lot of people are having incredibly vivid dreams, and those dreams are showing them things that they need to know, things that they need to work on, things that they need to try and do. And I think it's because we, human beings, collectively are elevating to a different point. I believe that. Do I have any proof of this? No. Have I done any research? No. But I think that we are elevating to a different point. I'm very excited. Yeah, I find it interesting that we have more access to knowledge than we've ever had. And yet, 50 minutes and 50 seconds as I'm saying this, and yet people will opt out of looking for information because they don't want to be wrong, because they don't want to be challenged on their views and their belief systems. So if they have a question about something, or if they don't like something, they just say, well, I don't like that, and they don't go look up what it's about. People don't understand certain things, and so they flee, they run, they try to block it. And I think it's because a lot of people are A, afraid of change. B, I think a lot of people are walking around with some serious demons, and those demons are disturbed when they see certain content. And I think that's why so many of you, it's time for you to make content. It's time for you to go public with your things. It's time for you to get really excited and really passionate about your inner child's desires and their wants, because it's time to make people uncomfortable. It is that time, my love. It's time to make people uncomfortable. And not, ooh, my back. And not in like a disrespectful way, but in a, you're living your most authentic self, your most authentic truth, and you are doing that unapologetically, and other people who would be hating on you or upset about it are forced to look at themselves and to wonder, why am I so mad? Why am I so irritated with the fact that this girl is walking around in full cosplay every day? That's not me. I don't do that. But it's an example. I remember when I lived in Boston, Massachusetts, one of my favorite things to see were people who were dressed randomly in full cosplay or full costumes, and they'd be dancing down the street. I loved that. Because I was like, that's what it means to dance like nobody's watching. To enjoy your life, to really savor it, to taste it, to experience it. That is what it means to do that. And some of us, some people, they don't dance publicly like that, but they're walking around living their life, and they're super giddy and happy about it. Bro, let me tell you, today I actually worked a little bit on my streaming stuff, because for those of you who are new here and may not know, I am beginning the process of being a video game streamer. I've always wanted to do it. I've wanted to do it for 12 years now. And I never felt like I was smart enough. I never felt like I was entertaining enough to do it. And this year, Spirit has really been on me about, it's not about whether or not you're entertaining enough. It's not about whether or not other people will like it or other people will accept it. It's about your soul. It's about what brings you joy. It's about what brings you fulfillment. Because you living in your truth is going to impact people in a way you could never know. That's what Spirit said to me. And it's what Spirit is saying to you as well. There are a lot of you. You guys have things to say. You have a lot of things to say. And some of you might be nervous. You might be nervous because some of the stuff that you have to say hurts some people's feelings. Well, some people need their feelings hurt. 18 minutes and 18 seconds as I'm saying that. Some of the people who you know personally and you're like, damn, like I don't want to tell them the truth about this because then their feelings are going to be hurt. Some of them, that's what they need. They need a catalyst moment. Some people, in order to make changes in their lives that are for the better, require being shown who they are. A moment, a person, a location, an experience takes all of their bullshit and shows them what it is. And they are met with that dark night, with that tiny death, that tiny ego death that we experience when we start to realize that we done fucked up. And we have to accept that. We have to accept that we fucked up. We have to accept that there are things that we did that we were not the most proud of. We said some things we regret. We did some things we regret. We hurt people. We are the villain in some people's stories by the nature of being a human being. That's just what happens. No one is perfect. Nobody. 19 minutes and 19 seconds as I say that. So, my dear, this is one of the reasons I'm always like, it's time, it's time, it's time. Like, it is time for you to step, not out, because I feel like some of you have stepped out already, but I think it's time for you to step in confidence. That this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, my love. But yeah, I think there is a shift that happened at some point, and it's continuing to happen because it's as if I could hear the tectonic plates in the earth shifting randomly throughout the day. Like I can feel it in my soul that things have changed drastically. And I don't know exactly what did it, but I kind of don't care because I like change. But there are a lot of people who don't. So there are a lot of people right now who are on some fuck shit. Okay, so this message I was not moved to share 2 days ago. I thought about it 2 days ago, but I wasn't moved to share it, and I just felt it to share. Some of you need to accept a very hard truth. And the truth is this: you are somebody's karmic experience. What this is a karmic person is a person who comes into your life and they show you all of these things about yourself that you don't actually like, that you've been fighting against and you've been hiding. And then after they show you that and you are miserable because now you see yourself, you see the raw face of humanity in yourself, it breaks you. And it breaks you in a way that you're not really sure that you're going to recover from because you've spent your entire life hiding. And some of you, that is your role. It's one of the roles that you have. It's one of the purposes that you came back here to do. Some of you specifically came back here to agitate some people. And you're not a bad person for doing this, because that moment where you are shown through somebody that you can do better, that you should be doing better, that is a catalyst moment. Catalyst moments are so necessary in life because they shake up the foundations, the rocky foundations of comfort that we have put together for ourselves. There are a lot of people who are meant to be doing great things, and they've had dreams since they were 2 and 3 years old of doing these great things, but they're so afraid of stepping out because of critique, because of judgment, because of what people will say about them, that they're like, no, I'm fine. I know a person right now, her entire life she's wanted to entertain. Her entire life she's wanted to sing, to be a performer, to be an actor. And because people told her that it was a 1 in a million thing, because people told her that's not a professional thing to do, to want to be an entertainer. Get a real job. Get a real job, they said. And she has spent her entire life trying to find little ways to add those entertainment aspects into her life. Whereas if she had a catalyst moment and she was forced to make a decision and said, you know what? Nah, I'm going for it, who knows what would have happened. I think currently this person in my life is, she's going through it. She's having some hard realizations. She's having her own catalyst moments from other stuff that's happening. But I feel like a lot of people are. Friends of mine, people who I know, that I went to school with, all the way back to my undergrad, like a lot of people are currently being met with some heavy realizations about themselves. But the cool thing is that if you're being met with those realizations, it's because they can handle it. If you're watching this and you're one of these people, you can handle it. If you're one of the people who is acting in a karmic role where you're doing this to somebody else, they can handle it. Do not feel bad. They can handle it. They have all of the tools they need to move through this era of their life into a better place. They have it. Now, whether or not they believe they have it is a different story. Everybody is strong and capable when it comes to learning spiritual realizations, when it comes to going through that dark night of your soul, when it comes to looking into the darkness, you know, the dune type of darkness, where all of the Ben and Gesserit were like, yeah, we don't look there. That's the place we don't look. And Paul, aka Paul Muad'Dib, was like, look in the darkness. You'll see me staring back at you. We can all be the person staring back at people who look into the darkness and they're afraid. We all have the potential to be those people. It's just, do you believe that you have that potential? Because if you truly don't believe that you have it, then it's going to be hard for people to convince you. It's going to be hard for you to move forward. But again, if you don't believe that you are capable, I'm here to warn you because your catalyst moment may be coming.
It might be on the horizon, my friend.
It could be in the form of a relationship. And when I say relationship, it could be a family member, it could be a friend. I'm feeling some of you, your friends are about to be really honest with you about your behavior. It could be a coworker. It could be a random person on the street. Could be. I remember, again, I had a lot of weird things happen when I was in Boston. And I used to go through this one particular area in order to get to work where there was a lot of homeless people. And I would come through that area and I spoke to everybody because they were always so nice. They were always like just really cool people. And at one point I was coming through and a guy was like, you know what, you are so pretty. Walk with your head held high. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I just, kept it pushing. But I thought about that for the rest of the day and I was like, you know what, he's fucking right. He knows. And I know. And I've got to accept this. So the message can come from anywhere. The catalyst moment can come from anyone. It can come from anywhere, and it's going to hit you at any time. So, for those of you who are watching this and it resonated and you don't like that it resonated and you're like, no, I don't want to go through a catalyst moment, it's okay. It is going to be hard, but you're going to get through it. For those of you who you resonate with the aspect of being the catalyst, trust your gut. 26 minutes and 26 seconds as I say this. Trust your gut. The catalyst moment doesn't need to be aggressive on your part. It's not how you say the thing that will cause the catalyst. It's what you are saying. So if you go to a person and you're like, I need to tell them about themselves, check with your spirit. Slow down. Don't be overly emotional about it. Step back from it and check with your soul to make sure that you are delivering the information that you are about to deliver in a way that you are supposed to. Alright? And I say that because some people, they get really excited and they're like, I'm fun to deliver the message. And then if you are being rude or an asshole about it, it could cause the person to use that as what we call in the business a red herring. If you're having a conversation with somebody and you're like, damn, you hurt me when you punched me. And the other person is like, you weren't hurt. Like, what do you mean? You don't usually get hurt. Like, I hit you the other day, blah, 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 blah. And they're trying to step away from the topic at hand. It's a red herring. They're trying to distract. And for some of you, you have tone problems. Some of you, when you say things, you say it very bluntly. And you're very like, it is what it is. And that's totally fine. I'm not saying you need to be any different. I have some people in my life who I love who are like this. I absolutely adore how blunt they are. I prefer it. I personally prefer the close people in my life who are a part of my team because they care about me. When they tell me truths that are harsh, I tell them, hurt my feelings. Hurt my feelings. And they have been hurting my feelings for years. But the cool thing about having your feelings hurt for years is that other people can't do it that easily. Because you already have a habit of getting your feelings hurt. I've seen a couple of negative comments on my content where people talk about my physical appearance and they talk about my skin tone and whether or not I am liked because of those things. And it's weird that I laugh when I read them because I realized today in particular that I have been spending so much time doing shadow work where I am constantly being told by spirit or the few people closest to me, I'm constantly being told, stand the fuck up. Why are you allowing this to take you out? And then again, when you lived through a life of self-deprecating humor, it's kind of hard to hurt a person who hurt themselves because they know what their insecurities are. You don't. So, some of you who you've been hurting for a long time, that time was preparation. It was a training ground. So that as you are stepping into this new place where people are going to see you and people are going to have shit to say about you, you're going to brush that shit off. Because you're like, you cannot hurt me with words. You don't know what I've been saying about myself for years. My thing is when you turn the shit that happened to you into a strength, you are untouchable. You are untouchable, my love. And some of you, you've been through the ringer already. So as you're about to step into your abundance, you're about to step into a new season of your life where you are starting these new projects and where your business, the things that you've been working on, are about to start taking off. You're going to have people who don't like that. And a lot of you watching this video are prepared for that. You're more prepared than you think you are. Ooh, this is a multi-message video. We're talking about the massive spiritual shift that humanity is going through, the elevation that humanity is going through. We're talking about being a catalyst. We're talking about some of you are going to meet a catalyst. Like this is a lot. We're talking about the Super Bowl, and man, like I feel like I've hit a lot of points already that I needed to talk about in this video. Oh, excuse me, it is 2 a.m. It is 2 a.m. I'm so glad that I made the habit of doing these videos late though, because I was thinking about it and I was like, what time do I want to like stream video games? Like when do I want to do that? And as I'm trying to figure out like a schedule, because it's good for me to have a schedule, because then my sister, my roommate, knows what good days are good days for her to be out or for her to be at home, and like if she's at home, like, you know. I was thinking about it, and if it ends up being a bit later, then these videos won't be done until after I'm done streaming. So 2 a.m. is like a really good time for me to do that. Ooh, but girl, fella, my loves, things are taking place and I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Well, now that I've talked about that, my day was a good day. It was an insanely good day today. I woke up, my inner child was already at the helm, ready to lead and to drive. And so I hopped up. Excuse me. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I hopped up, made myself some vitamin C drink. And I was gonna have a cup of coffee today, but I've been trying to not have coffee. I'm trying to not drink coffee as much, just because caffeine, like, it's not really that it does anything to me. It doesn't make me jittery or anything, but caffeine has a way of affecting you, or coffee has a way of affecting you in other ways. But yeah, I asked my inner child what she wanted to do today, and she was excitedly like, let's work on our cards for our video game streams. So for those of you who don't play video games, and whenever I mention them, you're like, oh, that's nice, but that's just not the content I take in. Totally fair. Again, this is why I know I'm gonna do like different video series, so that those of you who are here for a specific reason, you can have that content and you can trust that if it's going in that playlist, it is what you want to see. Because I know that some of these videos, it's like I talk about a lot of different stuff, and if you watch one of these videos and you're like, oh, subscribe, and you subscribe because you're like, that content, you want to see that content. So I get that. So again, be patient with me. We're working on it. It is a work in progress. But when you stream video games, there's like a whole way that you can do it that makes it very like organized, and it makes it look nice. And when I streamed the last time, it was not organized. The whole thing didn't look nice. It was a very beginner's, very noob way of doing things. And so today I worked on making it look a little bit more professional, trying to come up with transitions. And something that I thought I would share that's really cool is, for years I thought that I wasn't tech savvy enough in order to set up streaming. In order to live stream a video game, so you're sitting there and you're playing, and other people who are online can see the game that you're playing and they can hear you. In order to do it on the channel that on the website that I do it on, you have to use a separate program. And in that program, you have to download things potentially from other sites. And it's very like kind of tech heavy to figure out. And for years, I've just never been good with tech. But then funny enough, when I felt that it was time for me to move on this whole starting to stream video games thing, because my inner child was like, it's time, let's do it. And I just trusted it and I went for it. I understand the program. I have had this program, OBS Labs. I've had this program downloaded on my computer for years. And every time I opened it and I tried to learn something, I couldn't. My brain just was not absorbing the information. It was like pouring water on a rock. But the past couple of days, it's as if my brain has become a sponge, because there are certain things I'm not having to look up. It's the craziest thing. I'll think, like, I had a thought yesterday, and I was like, I want to be able to do this, this, and this. And I don't think I'll have to look it up. I have a feeling that when I go to bed tonight, by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, I'll have an answer. For some of you, you should do this. Utilize the fact that your brain is constantly working even when you're asleep. If you have a challenge or a question that you want answered, something that I would love for you to try, just to try it, just to see if it works, just why not? Ask that question or ponder on it for, let's just say, 5 minutes before you go to sleep. Because your brain's going to ponder on that through the night. And you might wake up with an answer. And that's what happened to me. I woke up this morning and I knew exactly how to do it. I went in there, I didn't have to go find a tutorial or a video. I just knew exactly how to do it, and it blew my mind because I was like, I've never understood this program like this. And oddly enough, the program actually looks far simpler than it did. Whenever I first started it, it looked like it was in Japanese. I had no idea what it was, what anything was. And now, suddenly, I get it and I understand it. And the reason I'm sharing this with you, my love, is because some of you are afraid to attempt the things that you're wanting to do because you don't think you're smart enough. This is something that I've been feeling for a while now, that in our collective consciousness, there are some of you who have very complex things that you're trying to start, and you do not think that you're smart enough, and you are afraid of feeling stupid, and you're afraid of attempting it and it not working out and you getting frustrated and never wanting to do it again. I feel this heavy, my love. I have been here. I have been in that place. But what I'm telling you is this. If there is something that you are moved to do in your spirit, okay? Lock it in right here with me. If there is something that you are moved to do in your spirit, your brain, as you think and as you focus on it, is going to start to arrange itself in such a way as to where the information is easier for you to understand. I know that sounds crazy. But I'm not the only person this has happened to. There are a lot of people who have reported that when they started doing something that they were passionate about, at first it frustrated the fuck out of them. And then the next time they went back to do it and they were like, you know what? I am dedicated to this process and I'm going to do it as long as it takes. Suddenly, they understand things better. They meditate on things better. They're retaining things better. Do not sleep on the power of the mind and the spirit combined. Do not sleep on it. That's a very powerful mixture. When you can get your mind to focus and to lock in with you, and then you're trusting your spirit, that's a dangerous combination. That's how people like Nikola Tesla came to be. He just understood things. Honestly, some of you do not do it. So only if this resonates with you should you do it 38 minutes and 38 seconds as I'm saying this. So please take this warning seriously. Whoever this resonates with, you need to go and you need to buy a book about Nikola Tesla. And you need to read up about how he did everything that he was doing. His thought processing, his rituals, everything that he did in order to come up with the information that he did. Because some of you, that information is very important. So, I think you can just go online. I think you can also stop by bookstores. Barnes & Noble is where I've gotten a lot of my books that have to do with, biographies and stuff like that. And you need to look up Nikola Tesla. You can also do it online for free. You can look up information about Nikola Tesla. It is a rabbit hole. There's a lot of spiritual stuff going on there that he didn't necessarily realize it was spiritual. This was a practical man. This was a man of science. 39 minutes and 39 seconds as I say that. But what a lot of people don't realize is that practicality and science and logic actually goes hand in hand with spirituality. It actually does. We as human beings have gotten it in our mind that spirituality and the magic of the world is the exact opposite of science. And so we say, well, this is real and this is not. The spirit is not real. We're just a bunch of, meat packaged together in this physical form. I don't have enough time in the world to explain to you the connections. I don't have the time. But I think for those of you who are interested, or those of you that doubt me, go start reading. Go start reading. Or go start listening. There are podcasts on the matter. Go listen. You can listen to both sides too. You can look at people who are like, nope, spirituality has nothing to do with science. Fuck it. You can go listen to that. But then you also should go and listen to people who are actual professors, scholars, mathematicians, physicists, chemists, who are talking about the fundamentals of how the real world works and how spirituality plays a part in all of it. It is the base. Your soul and your spirit is the basis of all things, so that would make sense. But anywho, yeah, it's crazy. I didn't realize I had so many messages for y'all tonight. I thought I was going to be talking about myself. I mean, I have been talking about myself, but But yeah, so I worked on some stuff for my stream, got some questions answered. It looks so much more organized now. The screens, starting or streaming soon screen, the be right back screen, like I know how to switch from, where you guys can see the video game that I'm playing to full camera. So like if I'm chatting, do that. And then I'm looking for music that I can listen to during, and not really looking for, because I found a lot of good music, and I actually have somebody who I love, who I'm very close to, who I was moved to ask him if he wanted to assist me with some music things, and I'm very excited about that process because collaboration is one of the most delicious things that you can do as a creative person. I loved when I was singing jazz when I was in my undergrad. I sang jazz. I was actually a part of a jazz band. I took the class and then I just kept being in it afterwards. It was me and one other person. We were the only vocalists. Everybody else was instrumentalists in the band. And one of my favorite things would be when I would be in like the music building and I would go in there and our jazz pianist would be at the piano going off, and then the bassist would come in and a trumpet player would come in, and then I would just be there and I would just be singing at the top of my lungs and they'd be playing and we'd just be improvising and going back and forth. It's a magical experience to be a creative person and to create with other people. I actually used to have a problem with this. My ego was massive. I didn't want to work alongside people, and a lot of the reason I didn't want to do that was not because I thought other people were bad. It wasn't because I thought other people were better than me. I didn't want to do it because I had this fear that I only had a handful of creative ideas, and if I shared those ideas with people, or if people collaborated on those ideas with me, they would steal my stuff. Because actually when I was growing up, this was something that was common, that there would be musicians, people who would come up with things and they would do things, and then you'd see it done later at a grander level, and the other person can't do anything about it because they couldn't afford to copyright it. I witnessed a lot of that growing up, where certain people got really big off of songs that were not theirs. Somebody else did it. And so that was a fear of mine, that I would only have a handful of creative ideas, and if I shared those ideas with anybody, they would run with my stuff, and then I'd be left there in obscurity, sad and crying and tiny, like Voldemort in the bathtub in that one scene in Harry Potter. But something that I want to remind you of, because I have a feeling some of you feel the same way, something I want to remind you of is that creativity is it's not a bucket. Creativity is a bottomless pit. It is the infinite. It is the void, because the amount of ideas that do exist, and will always exist are sitting in the collective consciousness. That's why sometimes I believe this. This is what I believe. I believe sometimes ideas are dropped on you. So that's why you wake up from a dream and you have an idea. And because I think some ideas and theories are actually organic, and so they find people 44 minutes and 44 seconds as I say this. So those ideas and that all that creativity finds certain people who have the capacity and who will benefit from getting it out there. But some people will go years and years and years sitting on an idea and never get it out there, and then somebody else comes up with it or somebody else finds it, because the idea is meant to be shared. It's meant to get out there, and it will get out there by any means necessary. So do not be afraid of collaboration, my love, because creativity is not finite. There's so much to create. There's so much to create. And I know a lot of people are getting lazy, once ChatGPT became capable of assisting. When it became capable of assisting in various areas, I noticed a drastic difference in how people were. ChatGPT really came to fruition and came into itself while I was getting my master's degree, and I noticed in the discussion post, because I got my master's online, I noticed in the discussion post that we had to do, people who were bad writers suddenly wrote okay, but the ideas were odd and they didn't make sense. And then come to find out, an article came out that there were a lot of people who immediately started using AI to write their papers for them. Now, I'm a big fan of cutting back on tedious work that is not necessary, but I also believe that when it comes to work that assists us in growing, we've got to do that. We've got to do that work. It's like you. On your spiritual journey right now, it's important that you go through challenges. It's important that you train and you get your spiritual muscles up and you get your mental and emotional muscles up, because you're going to run into some challenges, and those challenges are going to be easy for you to deal with if you are currently working out. If you're currently handling the challenges and issues that come your way, you're meeting them head on and you're not hiding from them. The longer you avoid challenges, 46 minutes and 46 seconds as I'm saying this, the longer you avoid these challenges, the weaker you become over time. So in order to avoid that, it is important for you to lock into the challenges that are happening in your life right now. Maybe you've been dealing with them in a way that's not been great. It's not wonderful and worthy of you. Or maybe you've been going at it in a wrong way, and now you're being given the opportunity to change your mental paradigm and approach it differently. The question that I have for you right now, watching this, is what is a challenging thing that you're dealing with right now? You do not have to put this in the comments. You never have to comment, like, or subscribe. I always want to let y'all know that. But this is just for you in your personal space. What is something that you're currently having a challenge with right now? And could you be missing looking at it from a different perspective? Calm down, stomach. Is there a challenge or an issue that you are dealing with, that you're dealing with right now, that is an issue that maybe you've dealt with before? If you're getting repeat challenges or repeat issues, or you're getting repeat people coming back into your life, it's because there's a lesson that you have not learned yet. And this is your opportunity to step back, take a deep breath, look at it from different angles, and learn from it so that you can move forward with the shit that you want. With the shit that is already yours. The shit that is on the path. It is already on that path. You're going to run into it. But are you going to be ready for it? I don't know about y'all, but I want to be ready for it. One of the things is I'm doing vulnerability moment. One of the things that I am now running to a little bit more is people who are trolls online, people who are racist, people who are misogynistic, people who are sexist, and I am starting to see a buildup of that, which I knew was going to happen because by the nature of the content that I'm going to be doing, and the more often I post, the more likely it is that my content is going to fall under the gaze of people who aren't like the community that I'm building. They're not kind, they're not sweet, they're not thoughtful. They do not want to make the world a better place. They have insecurities, they're upset, they be hating on people who are happy, and so they want to make that other people's problems by responding rude things to people's comments, or by leaving comments that just, they're honestly a waste of time on videos and things like that. And before, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I wasn't prepared for that. I was not ready. I was so sensitive. I was so sensitive to people not liking me. 49 minutes and 49 seconds as I say this. I was born, or not born, but I was molded into a people pleaser by the people around me. I became a people pleaser in order to protect myself as a kid. And when I got into adulthood, it fucked me up because I was a people pleaser to bosses that I had, so I would let them take advantage of me. The amount of hours that I worked for free at jobs because I would clock out and then they'd be like, hey, I need you to take care of this. And I'm like, I already clocked out. And they're like, it shouldn't take you very long. And I worked for free, did not get paid for overtime because they didn't feel like paying me. And at the time, I was a people pleaser and didn't have the confidence to say, fuck you, I'll be back tomorrow and I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not doing it right now. You saw me clock out. I'm gone. Peace. Suck dick. But when people didn't like me, or when they didn't like my content, or they thought I was ugly, this is a very common thing growing up. The whole, if you're dark skin or if you're darker than a certain shade, you're ugly. I had eczema, and my eczema caused a dark line up under my lip. It caused me dark patches on my neck, on my arms, and my legs. And young boys in particular were very vocal about the fact that I wasn't attractive, and they wanted me to know that. And my feelings were hurt very frequently. I used to cry. I used to be very upset about it. Now, I wouldn't cry in public. I took that shit home because I was like, no, I'm laughing and I'm happy and I'm jokey when I'm in school and shit like that, but I'm not gonna let people see me cry. Why would I do that? You don't need to see these tears. You don't deserve them. The fuck? So, 6 or 7 years ago, doing anything online for an extended period of time would not have been the go for me because I was very sensitive. I am not as sensitive anymore. And it's because of going through situations that I had to work through. It's because I got my feelings hurt. And I do get my feelings hurt by people that I love who are very quick to let me know because I asked. They're very quick to let me know when I'm fucking up or when I'm doing things that are not wonderful and worthy of me. I love that the wig is just like da da da. If you're not a gamer but you're interested to see the other wigs that I have, when I stream on Twitch, I will be posting about it in the future, and I have a long, unicorn wig. It's unicorn colors that I wear when I game. You should come over there and see that wig, because that wig is glorious. I have another wig that I haven't tried on yet that I got for my birthday, and I'm so excited to try that on and to take pictures and to post them. I love wigs, y'all. I love wigs. Growing up, I was religious growing up. I was raised very religious. So we didn't do Halloween, which meant we didn't dress up. And because I was growing up in, again, a very religious space, and I, saw anime but didn't really know about cons or cosplaying or dressing up or anything like that, I saw other people wearing really cute wigs. I wanted to wear them for years. And now I'm at the age where I can buy wigs and I can wear them. And I can literally walk out of the house with purple hair one day if I want to have purple hair, or if I want to have rainbow hair one day. I can get a wig and I can make that shit happen. It's so glorious. And so many places sell wigs for relatively cheap. So I'm very excited about my wigs. I love wearing wigs. They're just so great. Of course, my sister was like, yeah, I can see your hair peeking out from up under your wig. It's getting too long. So I have a stocking on up under this, and it is squeezing the shit out of my brain. And when you wear these little stockings repeatedly, you get used to it. But my scalp is hurting because I haven't had to wear one of these in a while because my hair's been super short. But now it's getting longer. And you all will probably see, because I think either tomorrow or the day after I'm going to post a video on TikTok. I don't know what about yet, so again, be patient with me. We're building something. You and me and my community, we're all building something. What are we building? I have no idea, but I'm just happy to be here. I'm honestly just happy to be here. I'm so excited for what the future holds, but I'm really just happy to be in the moments that I'm in, enjoying life. It's crazy. It's amazing. But yeah, my love, now is that time. If you get some money and you're like, man, I really want to put this towards my music, do it. If you're like, man, I really want to get this dress, do it. Anything that is going to support you in being your A, most authentic self, and B, any money that is going to help you with your passions that you want to move forward with, do that. If you've always wanted to paint, now is the time to go get some paintbrushes, get some paint, get some canvases. There are craft stores where you can go and you can do this, and a lot of them will sell items in bulk. So you can get quite a few stuff. Now is the time to do it. Oh my goodness, sleep just jumped on me. Sleep said, you thought. My goodness, wow, that hit me super hard, like a truck. Did anybody get the license plate of that thing? Damn. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm literally about to fall asleep sitting here. You guys have this. You, my love, watching this, you've got this. You've got this. Keep it pushing, keep it going. And for those of you who, when you comment on my videos, you comment a timestamp on my videos, very wise. Very wise, because you are going to be in a different place receiving different things, and you'll be able to come back to those comments if you so choose to, and you can edit them, and you can tell me how great things are going in the comments of those videos. I'm excited to see and hear what you're all doing. I'm already seeing and hearing people that are close to me finally stepping into their power, finally stepping into spaces where they want to be, where they're doing things, they're starting businesses, and I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. So excited. Wow. Oh yeah. I also went on a, what do you call it? I went on a nostalgia kick, and I went back and saw videos from the YouTubers that I used to watch 14 years ago. Yeah, bro. For those of you that don't know, I'm 32. So 14 years ago, math. I remember where I was 14 years ago, and that blows my mind. I was watching the Rhett and Link videos that they used to do. There's the Nerd versus Geek video that I love. Yes, I am a nerd, bookworm, I'm studious. From my cerebral cortex to my gluteus. Like, love it. I watched, what was another one? I watched the Julian Smith. If you're watching this and you are, you know, fellow millennial, the Julian Smith videos, the ones where he would sing the like really weird songs, and the one that I was watching was Red Eye Flashes Twice. What are you, stupid Bill? Red Eye Flashes Twice. Probably have you killed. And if you have a girlfriend, which we all know you don't, then you definitely won't have a girlfriend. Julian Smith. My favorite Julian Smith song of all time was I'm reading a book. I'm finding the link. I'm putting it in the description. For those of you who are younger, Julian Smith, 12 or 13 years ago, was, in my opinion, as I look back at the content that he did, he was an artist, and he only made videos that were like 2.5 minutes long, but the quality of those videos were so good. YouTube, at that time, and again, I get it, it's the nostalgia. I know, okay, I know. But it really was a golden era, because the comedy, a lot of the comedy was corny as hell, but the quality of the videos done was the quality that you see in longer form videos now. And I'm talking, it was good then and it's good now. So when he did I'm Reading a Book, I love that song. I love that song. I listen to that song unironically. I love that song, and I also like to read books, so like that's my jam. The I'm Reading a Book song, I went through the epic rap battles of history. For those of you that don't know, the epic rap battles of history are amazing. They're amazing. They're done by Nice Peter and I can never... Epic Lloyd and Nice Peter. And I love... there was one, what is it? It's Rasputin against Alexander the Great was one of my favorites. The beat was just really good. I also like Master Chief versus Leonidas from 300. What was another one? Another one I really like are all of the directors. There's an Epic Rap Battles of History video where it's just a bunch of directors. So it's Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, Kubrick, and then Michael Bay. Michael Bay is in it at the end. And I love those videos. I love them. They were so creative. They were so clever and good. This was also back in the day when Ray William Johnson was super popular and he did the Your Favorite Martian videos. And some of those were, they were pretty, like he would have been canceled. Like, there's a lot of content that was on YouTube 11, 12 years ago, and people would have been canceled immediately. But I don't know, because some of it, the comedy was just cleverly done. Like, one of my favorite Epic Rap Battles of History songs, like one of the songs that they did is the Eastern philosophers versus Western philosophers. It's so good. It's so good. The beat. Ooh, also Teddy Roosevelt and Winston Churchill. That's another battle that's good. Y'all, I watched a lot of Epic Rap Battles growing up. Like, I loved their content. The cinematography was good. The modeling was good. And then if you watch the behind the scenes for some of those videos that they did, they're just so expertly done. Like, it really is film done at, like, a smaller scale. Fucking love it. But yeah, I went on a nostalgia kick, and Ryan Higa's videos that he used to do, how to sing like your favorite musician, the nice guys finish last. Like, the time of YouTube where parody music was a thing is probably my favorite period of YouTube, was parody music. When it wasn't just Weird Al Yankovic doing it, it was a lot of people doing it. So it was Weird Al Yankovic, it was The Key of Awesome was doing it too. There were quite a few people doing parody music, and it was so good. It was great. It was amazing. And then it was so cool because then you'd see people who you saw doing other stuff in certain videos. So like when Jenna Marbles, who I loved because I just really felt like Jenna Marbles lived like such a normal life with her dogs, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for that. And she was in one of the Epic Rap Battles videos. I think it was Adam versus Eve. It was very good. But that was at a time where so much of what was happening were creative, original ideas. And I think YouTube is due for more creativity, for more weird shit, for more shit that makes people think and holds a mirror up to life. It's not just for followers. It's not just because people want to make money. And a lot of you that watch my videos and that are watching these videos, you are that movement. You are the people that wouldn't take YouTube back to that point. You know, I wouldn't want things to go backwards. But you would bring back authenticity and creativity in a way where that vibe, that feeling of people just being about it is there. I would love that. I would love that. I would love it so much. You smell. You kind of smell. I'm not gonna finish that. But yeah, so I went on a nostalgia kick and I laughed my ass off. I laughed so hard. It's so much of the shit that I was watching. And then to look in the comments and to see the amount of people who commented like 2 weeks ago and were like, man, I've just been on a nostalgia kick here recently because it just feels good to go back through and look at things that make me feel like how I felt during that time. Like, during that time, like the mid-2000s, like 2006, 2007, 2008, like 2010, particularly the 2010s, that it was like peak. That's where a lot of my memories are, you know, like because of various things, you know, whether it's neurospiciness, whether it's trauma, whatever it may be. I don't remember my childhood for the most part. I remember bits and pieces, and then I know what people have told me. And then I know of things that I've seen in home videos, but I don't actually remember a lot of my childhood. I know a lot of people don't, but that period of time was actually a really good period of time for me. I really feel like that's where I wanted to be creative. That's where I wanted to start creating content, was during that time. And it's just so cool. It's just so cool to see. So anyways, if you do any type of comedy or any type of joke content, or you just want to do really cute or lame things, please do them, because we are due for more authenticity. We're due for people doing things because they are passionate about it, not just because it can make them money. Money is not the most important thing, by far. It's very necessary, it's important, but it's not the most important thing. You know? It's the relationships. It's your relationship with self, with spirit, with your source energy, with God, with your family, with your friends, your relationship with yourself. That is what is important. And I feel like for a lot of you, as long as you keep maintaining that focus, your stuff's gonna blow up. I try to do it in the mornings and in the evenings. If you do it in the mornings and the evenings, your days will go better. Connect with yourself. Take at least 5 minutes to be like, how do I feel? How does my body feel? Where's my head at? What am I thinking about? You know? So, yeah, I think that's all I have for this evening. I love you all so, so, so much. To the new subscribers who are here, again, a very warm welcome to you. I'm excited to have you. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to engage with you in the future in whatever capacity we do that in. And for those of you who've been here, you always have my love. You always have my support in doing creative things, in figuring yourself out as you're on your journey. For those of you who are on your soulmate journey, I'm excited for you. For those who are on your business, growing your empire journey, I'm excited for you. For those of you who are on your entertainment journey, where you're trying to come through and make content and do stuff, I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see what you guys start doing and what you come up with. But anyways, that's all I have. I love you. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you're at. I hope the next 12 hours that you experience are amazing, and that you experience some form of a miracle, some form of joy, some form of a chuckle that you didn't expect to get, or a compliment that you didn't expect to get. And I will see you tomorrow night. Yeah. I mean, I might do like videos earlier in the day, but you'll definitely see me tomorrow night. I love you. Mwah. Bye.